Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining SIA's fourth annual International Women's Day Tea Party, which is also serving as a CSW parallel event. My name is Lydia Tortolero, and I am the Associate Manager of Engagement and Events at SIA headquarters. It is so nice to see you all in your fascinators, pearls, and even Zoom filters. Once the program begins, I will be drinking my peppermint tea, and I invite you to share what tea you will be drinking
Do
and
you have any
enjoying in the
tea?
chat.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, make me a cup of tea, please. We're gonna have some tea.
I
Okay, I
like
would
to
love
think
that.
of International Women's Day as both a celebration of the progress that we've made and a reminder of the work that still remains to be done. Today, we will reflect on the 1995 Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action and connect our learnings to this year's International Women's Day theme, Accelerate Action. To start our program tonight, it's been a pleasure, and it is a pleasure, to introduce SIA President Ginger Cole.
Thank you, Lydia. And thank you all for joining us at our fourth annual International Women's Day Tea Party. I am Ginger Cole, and joining me today are recent graduate fellows Amina Whelan and Governor Liz Glauca, as well as Lee Elwood Brown, Director of Advocacy for Seroptimist International. Today, we will learn how to accelerate action for gender equality globally and locally. But before we dive into this theme, let's take a moment to reflect on last year's theme of Inspire Inclusion. As we discovered last year, true inclusion goes beyond simply celebrating diversity. It requires empowering women of all identities and all backgrounds in all aspects of society. As women, we foster different experiences from our male counterparts. And as human beings, we live through different perspectives. While providing women with a seat at the table is crucial, we must also strive to create safe and welcoming environments that nurture authentic voices. A space where all perspectives are welcomed is a safe space that inspires inclusion for all women. To further illustrate this idea, I'd like to reference Verna Myers, a renowned expert in diversity, equity, and inclusion, who eloquently stated diversity is being invited to the party. Inclusion is being asked to dance. Last year, we highlighted how inclusion in higher education allows women to make their voices heard and creates a meaningful impact. This year, we will dive into the worldwide benefits of women's equality, how education for women is interconnected with gender equality, and why we must accelerate our progress. This year's theme, Accelerate Action for Gender Equality, emphasizes the urgent need to address gender disparities more decisively than ever. As Seroptimists, we are dedicated to providing women and girls with access to education so that they may achieve economic empowerment and fulfill their potential. Furthermore, with programs like Dream It, Be It, Seroptimists help girls realize their potential and gain the confidence to strive for better. Our efforts and work not only encourage women and girls, but also inspire inclusion by increasing opportunities for gender equality in male-dominated professional fields like STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. As we explore how we can accelerate action for gender equality, let's remember that inclusion is essential in overcoming the challenges women and girls encounter in their pursuit of parity. Before we discuss how we can personally accelerate action, let's briefly explore the history of the international women's movement and the global progress that the United Nations has enacted. As highlighted on the United Nations website, the growing international women's movement was strengthened by 4 global UN conferences. These conferences united the international community behind a set of common objectives to advance women's rights and equality. By 1995, 189 countries signed the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, an ambitious and progressive blueprint for gender equality with effective plans of action for advancement of women everywhere. Although the 189 countries that signed the declaration have made notable progress in gender equity since 1995, according to the data from the World Economic Forum, it still will take 133 years to reach full gender parity at our current rate of progress. That's roughly 5 generations from now. Can't wait until 2158? Well, neither can I. But don't let this statistic get you down. Soroptimist International has been actively engaging with the United Nations to promote gender equality and empower women's rights. Additionally, our personal persistence and dedication to gender equality is why we are joined together today. Seeing you all here, joining us virtually from across the globe, fills me with hope and joy. One of the many ways that Soroptimist International engages with the UN is our involvement in the Commission on the Status of Women, also referred to as CSW. The CSW, established in 1946, is instrumental in monitoring the status of women's rights worldwide and shaping global standards on gender equality. Every year, the SI president leads a Soroptimist delegation at the CSW in New York. A special thank you to those who have applied to be a delegate this year. Since the UN's official adoption of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action in 1995, the CSW has taken a lead role in monitoring and reviewing the declaration's progress and problems in the implementation every 5 years. In their most recent review of the declaration's progress for women's equality, SI and many other constituents involved in the CSW has submitted a statement to the UN emphasizing the importance of education for women, its interconnected nature to other critical areas of concern, and recommendations for the United Nations to accelerate our global progress. The Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action lists its critical areas of concern. Soroptimist is directly involved in critical area 2, education and training for women. In their statement, SI detailed that the immense impact of equal education and training for women can indirectly affect at least 3 other critical areas listed in the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action. Critical Area 6, Women and the Economy. Critical Area 3, Women and Health. Critical Area 7, Women in Power and Decision Making. Earlier, I was able to speak more about SI's advocacy and our global impact in accelerating action with Lee Elwood Brown, the Director of Advocacy for SI. We had a great conversation, and she taught me a lot about SI's direct impact in relation to the CSW. Let's take a look at that conversation right now. Well, hello, Lee. It's such a pleasure to meet you. Welcome to the Tea Party.
Oh, thank you so much, Ginger. It's lovely to see you again.
Thank you for joining us, and thank you for your global work with SI. I'm so excited about this conversation. Please introduce yourself and the work that you do with SI.
Thank you. And hello again, Ginger. It really is good to be with you. Thank you for inviting me to SIA's 4th annual Tea Party, where you're displaying active acceleration towards gender equality for International Women's Day. A big congratulations to you and the members of SIA.
Thank you.
My name is Lee Elwood Brown, and I am the Seroptimist International Director of Advocacy. This is my 4th year in this volunteer role, and Seroptimist International, or SIA as we call it, has approximately 65,000 members in 118 countries around the globe within our 5 federations. So as the SI Director of Advocacy, I lead the work of the SI Global Impact Committee and contribute to the work of the SI Global Policy Committee. Working in collaboration with our SI leadership and committees, we collectively deliver Seroptimist International's advocacy to influence global policy.
Thank you, Lee. It's refreshing to hear about the work that's being done on a global scale. Can you please expand more on the work and the advocacy that SI does? How are we accelerating action globally?
Seroptimist International advocates for human rights and gender equality through education and empowerment. At the heart of our advocacy is our work across 7 United Nations centres, in which 26 SI representatives to the United Nations ensure that the voices of women and girls around the world are included in international decision-making. Seroptimist International collaborates with other like-minded organisations and coalitions on issues of mutual concern, working together towards a common aspirations for women and girls. Our SI representatives to the UN advocate effectively on behalf of women and girls as a result of evidence provided by every Seroptimist taking direct action at the local level. Our current priority areas of focus are the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, or the SDGs as they are known, which the UN set in 2015 as the agenda for the next 15 years. They aim to transform our world. They are a call to action, Ginger, to end poverty and inequality, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy health, justice, and prosperity. It is critical that no one is left behind. Seroptimist International concentrate on SDG, Goal 4, which is quality education, and SDG 5, which is gender equality, and other areas that relate to women's empowerment as they interconnect. Our second area of focus is our collective input into the review and appraisal of the implementation of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action. This year, in 2025, it's the 30th anniversary of what is considered to be a comprehensive blueprint for achieving gender equality and women's empowerment, outlining a set of strategic goals and actions across 12 critical areas of concern, like education, health, economics, violence against women, and political participation. 2025 is a unique opportunity for the international community to reflect upon its promise that every woman and girl should enjoy a life free from discrimination, exclusion, and violence. Seroptimist International is continuously advocating to accelerate action as a global voice to empower, educate, and enable women and girls, ensuring the realization of gender equality and women's human rights.
Wow. Thank you for breaking down your priority areas of focus. That's amazing. I'd love to discuss the statement that SI wrote for the UN in their review of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, and its current progress toward gender equality. Can you explain more on the purpose and the history of that statement?
Yes, I certainly can, Ginger. Thank you. Our SI statement has highlighted 3 key areas, as you previously mentioned, that can make a dramatic difference to improving the lives of women and girls on the journey towards the achievement of gender equality. Education and training for women, women and the economy, and women and health are our 3 areas of focus. Our SI Global Advocacy team does the initial research for our statements, the theme of the meeting, the statistics and data on the relevant issues that dictate the foundation of our statement and actions to be taken. The recommendations within our statement become a call to action to member states for suggested national implementation and a call to our Seroptimist members to advocate all decision makers. These recommendations also become the talking point for our SI delegates at the CSW 69 meeting to participate in various sessions, which strengthens our advocacy to accelerate action. We all speak as a global voice with the one message for the action required. SI has written and submitted a statement to the Commission on the Status of Women's annual meeting for many years, with the purpose to suggest to all member states what we believe is possible and what action we encourage them to take to advance the lives of women and girls. Our statement is supported and co-signed by several NGOs, indicating their broad support of our SI recommendations and call to action.
So, in what ways will gender equality benefit the world? And what can our members say to others when advocating locally?
Progress on gender equality will result in higher productivity worldwide and impact everyone's life, everywhere. As mentioned in the SICSW statement, educating all women and girls goes far beyond individual empowerment. It produces better health outcomes, fuels economic growth, and contributes towards stable and peaceful societies. A key takeaway from the UN Women's Gender Snapshot Report for 2024 states the economic cost of gender inequality, that the world is missing out on $10 trillion every year by not investing in women's rights. UN Women have produced and released 10 gender equality accelerators as solutions to drive collective action for the world to achieve gender equality. They are evidence-based, programmatic frameworks that translate international guidance on gender equality into local initiatives. You and all the Tea Party attendees can find a link in the resources tab in the Zoom meeting for more information.
Thank you, Lee. For everyone attending the Tea Party, be sure to look at the resources provided within the Zoom meeting. You can find resources in the toolbar of your Zoom, or click the More button with the 3 dots to find the Resources tab. There are directions in the chat if you have trouble locating it. Lastly, Lee, how is SI and SIA's mission involved in critical areas listed in the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action?
That's such a great question. Thank you, Ginger. Both of SI and SIA's missions aim to transform and improve the lives of women and girls through education, empowerment, and opportunities. Our missions interconnect with the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, which is a landmark document for advancing women's rights and gender equality worldwide. It sets strategic objectives and actions for the advancement of women and the achievement of gender equality in 12 critical areas of concern. For example, education and training of women is essential for women to reach gender equality and become those leaders of change that we all want in the world.
Thank you. If you don't mind, I think I'll take a sip of tea.
Oh, that's certainly. And I'll just add that change for you.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much for your insight on the inner workings of SI's advocacy. This conversation has been fruitful, and your attendance here is meaningful. I wish you the best in New York for CSW 69 meeting.
Thank you so much for having me. It's lovely to be. Happy Tea Party. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Wow, what a wonderful conversation between Ginger and Lee. It is empowering to hear how Soroptimist mission equals access to education is directly related to many critical areas detailed in the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action. Thank you, Ginger and Lee, for highlighting the work that Soroptimist is doing on a global scale. The impact that equal access to education for women and girls can make is truly breathtaking. Now that we have learned about Soroptimist international advocacy and global efforts, let's discuss how we have made an impact in our communities and how we can accelerate our progress locally. In a 2014 study, SIA conducted a research paper and find that around the world, adolescent girls are leaving school with ever higher degrees of achievement. but with ever lower chances of finding careers that will satisfy both their personal ambitions and their future financial needs. Our findings help us develop the program we now know as Dream It, Be It. SIA Dream It, Be It Career Support for Girls program has been skillfully designed to inspire girls, build their confidence, place their values in concrete plans, and create achievable goals. Dream It, Be It curriculum is decided to help girls connect their passions and ambitions to a career and future. That's Gabe can be excited about it. Girls who participate in the program are encouraged to identify their core values, interests, and explore how these align with potential career paths. This process not only helps them discover what they truly want to do, but also show them how their personal values and interests can guide them on their professional journey. A key takeaway from SIA's study is that it is common for girls, especially those in poverty, to reflect the realities of the world around them. It can be difficult to strive for change if they do not have any alternative wheel of life. Dream It, Be It open their eyes to opportunities beyond their immediate surroundings, inspiring them to reach for more and fueling their passion for their future careers. Dream It, Be It has helped girls become more confident in themselves and in pursuing an education that will satisfy both their personal ambitions and their future financial needs. However, once they reach the workforce, there is still a large deficit between men and women when it comes to pay, compensation, and representation on boards, particularly in fields such as STEM. While this is not new reality, the urgency of ensuring women and girls have the opportunity to thrive in these fields has ever been greater. In the CSW statement, as I mentioned, how the rapidly expand STEM fields, especially in the area artificial intelligence, opens incredible opportunities for women and girls to take the lead and shape the future of these industries. This is our moment to ensure they have fully part of this transformation. One woman who saw this issue and decided to take action is Rashma Sojani, the daughter of refugees who, despite graduating from an Ivy League university, struggled to carve out of her place in male-dominated fields early in her career. She made history as the first Indian American woman who ran for Congress, although her campaign did not succeed. In an interview with #MoveTheDial, Rashma shared how this experience revealed the significant gap in girls participating in STEM programs. Driven by the insights, she founded an organization that teaches girls how to code, empowering them to pursue careers in technology. Rashma's commitment to education and inclusion goes beyond immediate results. It fosters lasting change. By equipping young girls with essential skills and confidence, Rashma is paving the way for a future where women are equitably represented in technology and leadership roles through her organization, Girls Who Code. She saw a disparity, offered her services, made a lasting impact, and closed the gap. The deficit most cited in the global learning crisis, an issue explored in SIA's 2014 study, is the gap between the knowledge acquired in traditional classrooms and the skills required for success in the modern workforce. Without the skills, girls are not fully served by their educational backgrounds. This challenge is evident in countries like the Philippines, where a lack of relevant skills leads to high secondary school dropouts. Similarly, in Korea, academic achievement have led to an oversupply of graduates, resulting in many of them competing for basic entry-level jobs. How can girls find or acquire these skills? And why there is a deficit between men and women? Let's talk about breaking the old boys club and mentoring young women who can learn from your experiences. When SIA asked experts what could best contribute to girls' advancements, they responded overwhelmingly: role models and mentors. Let's look at a short clip explaining what a mentor is and can be.
There are a lot of definitions out there for what a mentor is. And when I talk to people who are considering becoming mentors, I find that they have this grand vision of a mentor as someone who is all-knowing and has all of the answers that you need along your journey. And when this is your view of what a mentor is, it can be easy to feel intimidated at the thought of becoming a mentor. But the truth is, mentoring is just a relationship. And so my definition of mentoring is a personal connection that's defined by several things like reciprocity, mutual respect, shared values. And I like this definition because nowhere in here does it say what type of degree you need to have, what type of job you need to have, or even how old you have to be. Over the years, the thing that I've learned about mentoring is that it's more about being present than being perfect.
Imagine trying to create a puzzle without the picture of the final product, or trying to assemble something together without this menu. You may search the web or look for YouTube videos to help you along the way. The most common advice that tutorials will give you is what not to do, because they have learned that on their own and wasted time on it. They are sharing this so you can succeed in whatever you are trying to do at that moment. Tools and appliances come with warnings and instruction for a reason. Imagine going through life without these warnings. You end up wasting time and energy, increasing the likelihood you will give up. Mentors and mentorships are versatile. A mentor typically shares personal stories and offers strategies to overcome challenges and setbacks, which are integral parts of achieving success. This can be as simple as sharing a mistake and you have made or a lesson you have learned along the way. Based on our survey data, a significant portion of respondents indicate that access to a mentor will be the most valuable form of support they could receive from women in the community. Focus groups Focus group discussions also revealed a broader need for career guidance from professionals, suggesting that mentorships played a crucial role in providing directions and advice for these girls. Well, let us be advocates for practical support and mentorship to help girls reach their potential. I would like to ask the questions to the audience. Raise your hand if you have ever had a mentor. Thank you. Thank you so much. To further illustrate this point, let's look at a story from Janice Omadaki on why mentoring is so important and how it can accelerate action for women specifically.
So let's fast forward to my early 20s, second corporate job ever. My background's in tech, which is predominantly male. I would see my male colleagues go out to beer or play golf with leadership and come back with these insider tips that were incredible. They would know which jobs were coming out in the next 4 to 6 months, what skills they needed to refine in order to be considered for them, and who else they should talk to within the company to build up their network of advocates in case they weren't in the room. So seeing that, I thought, yes, I need that too because I'm going places. To my surprise, however, when I would speak to the same leadership and go to coffee or lunch, the advice I received was to smile more, straighten my hair, buy a designer handbag, and wear high heels. And this is not a ploy for gasps. This is a real story. One of the highest paid partners in the company I was working for gave me that advice. Designer handbag and high heels.
Fortunately, Janice's experience in the workforce is not unique. She later goes on to share her experience related to navigating the old boys club. Have you ever heard of this term? The old boys club is a phrase used to personify when men help each other climb the ladder and share their secrets and how to support each other. It is rooted in a history where there were men-only university and clubs. This social structure remains prevalent, as Janice explained, which can be a large reason for the deficit present between women and men and their careers. Janice painted a picture that boys are taught to play chess from an early age. Women are taught to smile and play checkers. We now live in a world where men and women work alongside each other, learn at the same universities, and compete for the same jobs. The old boy clubs is our fashion, and this is time for us to share our own insights with young women so they can climb the ladder success at the same rate as others. To further elaborate on this topic and share some tips, I would like to introduce Governor Liz Gauke.
Thank you, Amina. What a powerful video you shared. I'd like to expand more on it. In her TED Talk, Janice describes 3 points we can all follow to accelerate action for women and to be great mentors. Be vulnerable. Speak out. Do not wait. Before we discuss what to do, let's look back at what Janice has to say about what not to do. Oh, okay. How can we avoid this misstep in guidance that Janice just talked about? Step 1, Be vulnerable. A lot of work, mistakes, and sometimes painful experiences occur on your journey to success. Although it can be uncomfortable to relive some of these experiences, a young woman sitting across from you can learn from your experiences, leaving room for them to discover their own challenges and to get to leadership even faster. To expand on this, I'd like to mention Rajma Zojani, the founder of Girls Who Code, once again. In her inspiring speech at a women's college graduation, she openly shared her struggles with imposter syndrome. Despite her qualifications and hard work, she spoke candidly about the self-doubt and lack of confidence she experienced early in her career. By sharing stories like hers, we offer reassurance to other women who may be experiencing the same feelings, reminding them they are not alone and that overcoming these challenges is possible. Step number 2, speak out. The fight for equal pay and tackling deep-rooted gender inequalities in the workplace has been a large issue revolving around gender equality. A large part of Seroptimus' mission is to forge economic empowerment for women. While education does increase opportunities for employment for women, many women are not getting paid the same as their male counterparts for the same job. In SI's statement to the UN, they noted that equal pay for work of equal value must be implemented without reservation. Bridging the persisting gender pay gap, which continues to unfairly impact women, is essential to tackling deep-rooted gender inequalities in the workplace and widespread systematic misogyny. This issue has been raised to the UN. How can we raise it ourselves? Speak out. If you see the inner workings of an old boys club, call it out. This step applies to women and men. Have you ever heard of the 30% Club? The 30% Club is a global campaign led by chairs and CEOs taking action to increase gender diversity at board and executive committee levels. A great example of a 30% Club member is Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff, who will not attend a meeting unless at least 30% of the attendees are women. Time and again, research shows that diverse companies outperform their less diverse counterparts. The 30% Club not only advocates for gender diversity, but also demonstrates how this approach can benefit companies. If you see a meeting or boardroom with less than 30% women, call it out and tell them about the 30% Club. Whether you're still in the workforce recommending this to a board or sharing it with your peers and loved ones, this is a powerful movement and a resource worth spreading. Another good example of the benefits to speaking up is a recent Disney lawsuit which was settled in November 2024. A report by Forbes detailed how LaRonda Rasmussen, a manager at Disney, spoke up about the unequal compensation within the company, claiming that she was receiving significantly less money than 6 men who held the same job title as her, and in some cases with less experience. Thanks to LaRonda's action, Disney will pay $43.25 million to their female employees who were deemed underpaid, and will hire an external labor economist to conduct a pay equality analysis for the company over the next 3 years. Additionally, Disney must hire an industrial organizational psychologist to train their compensation personnel so that this issue never repeats itself in the future. It pays to speak out. Number 3, do not wait. If you are the only woman on the top, open the door. This is your opportunity to share your knowledge and experience to help other women. It is nice to be the first. Don't be the last. For this last step, I'd like to share another clip from Janice Omodeki.
I want to encourage you not to wait. Summer 2017, I had the most incredible interns. These 3 young women came from different schools, and they immediately banded together, understanding that if they all did well, each one would walk away with an exquisite review, which I provided because they shared insider tips with each other for how to be the best possible versions of themselves and their exact roles and responsibilities. I share that because if 3 19-year-old undergrads can do it, everyone in this room can do the same thing. Remember that your story, where you are today, required resilience. It took grit. And there is a woman out there that has yet to navigate those landmines that wants to learn from you. You don't have to be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Look at my parents. You can be 2 intelligent immigrants who understand that tough love and compassion build pathways to opportunity. Go out into the world today, share your voice, share your experience, and be an example of the proven power of mentorship. Thank you.
So powerful. How our personal stories and experiences can help accelerate action for women and girls. As we just discussed why mentoring is so important and how it can accelerate action for women specifically. Now let's touch on how we can form a mentoring relationship ourselves, or how we can encourage girls to find a mentor. The best advice I can give you is to listen and to ask, not tell. For example, let's say a girl walks up to you with a dilemma. They say, I'm wondering about this thing. It can be a problem to solve, a project, or maybe an aspiration she has. It can be second nature to automatically suggest solutions. You should try this. You ought to do that. But this telling and solution-based solving does not provide guidance. Instead, ask. What do you want? Why is it important to you? How are you going to go about it? When you ask questions that help the mentee think, you are honoring their autonomy. Collaborate and honor each other's humanity. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't share. You're encouraged to. It's about push and pull. Remain curious and listen. A mentorship is a reciprocal relationship. It is important to involve girls in shaping their own mentoring relationships. For girls, it is empowering when experienced women professionals recognize the value and worth of their ideas and incorporate them into the mentoring process. When SIA staff were researching and developing Dream It, Be It, they found effective mentoring stems from mentors sharing their own experiences and insights, fostering a deeper connection and creating a meaningful exchange between mentors and mentees, learning between both parties. It is important to collaborate and allow girls to guide their own mentorship journey. In section number 4 of the Dream It, Be It curriculum, Rising Above Obstacles, the handout lists the many obstacles that a girl may face on their path to success, such as, but not limited to, sex discrimination in pay and promotions. The handout also provides multiple solutions to these obstacles. Some of you may have noticed this before, but the number one solution listed in this handout was seeking a mentor. Mentorship is a two-way relationship. It's why the solution is called seeking a mentor and not waiting for a mentor or being found by a mentor. Whether you are actively working towards being a mentor or not, you are inevitably a role model to the girls in the Dream It, Be It program and in your life. Lead with example and encourage them to find a mentor. Every person is different and can offer different resources. Have you ever heard of the phrase, "It takes a village"? Or maybe the Chinese proverb, "A single beam cannot support a great house." Perhaps you've heard the Sanskrit proverb, "A person is shaped by the people they associate with." Across different cultures, there are phrases that stem from a common sentiment emphasizing the importance of collaboration and collective effort in achieving success. Let's join together and support women and girls by accelerating action with the lessons we've learned today. As women, and especially as Seroptimists, we recognize that all girls have the potential to achieve great things, and like Lee stated, when all girls have the proper access to education, the world will benefit in so many different ways. Mentors can help unlock and cultivate the potential of young girls. These forms of support are essential for empowering them to turn their dreams into tangible accomplishments, helping them overcome obstacles and seize opportunities along the way. As we begin to conclude this event, I'd like to turn it back to President Ginger Call.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you for those wonderful tips on mentorship. As stated on the International Women's Day website, Accelerate Action is a worldwide call to acknowledge the strategies, resources, and activity that positively impact women's advancement. Our mission, to ensure women and girls gain access to education leading to economic empowerment, is a critical component in the broader pursuit of gender equality. However, as we've learned, there's still a significant amount of work to be done in dismantling long-standing barriers in the workplace to ensure women receive fair treatment that they deserve. Girls are impacted by stresses like self-esteem, body image, family obligations and expectations, violence and bullying, etc. Seroptimists are driven to help other women and girls overcome these But most impressively, we are strong women who can empathize and understand where these young women are coming from. With our own lived experiences and wisdom, we are uniquely equipped to offer meaningful support and guidance. Dream it, be it. You can help these girls visualize that be. Thanks to the insights gained from our exploration into the topic, we know that through networking, through training, resources, and financial support, mentors help harness and develop the potential of girls and help them navigate the path from dream to reality. Without skills, guidance, and resources, girls often lose their way. Today, more than ever, girls need tangible examples linking their education to their future. They need real-life role models to offer personal examples of success and mechanisms to tackle the challenges and failures that are part of that success story. Feeling inspired to take action? Join or help spread the word about the hashtag Walk for Women awareness campaign. We are coming together throughout the month of March to honor women's history and International Women's Day. Everyone can take part. Just get moving and share your hashtag Why We Walk. Together, we can amplify the stories, the struggles, and the incredible strength of women. I encourage you all to reflect on what we've discussed today and explore how we can apply it in both our personal lives and the vital work that we do as Seroptimists. Together, let's turn our learnings into actionable steps that drive lasting change. I thank you for joining us at our 4th annual International Women's Day Tea Party, and for continuing to learn about the work we can do to accelerate action for gender equality. Now, if you'd like to continue the conversation, go to our SIA social media pages for discussion prompts based on our conversation today. Connect with members all around the world at your fingertips. Thank you all for an impactful International Women's Day.